start because I got to tell you about what I was listening to. Because when I'm starting to write the podcast, right, I get into it, but it's also like I don't do well with the quiet. Like I don't like
do well with the quiet.
You know that. You know you like.
I can't focus
if
I'm listening to music. I can't do that.
All right, here's what I want you to try. If I'm listening to music, like me, I like metal music. You know me, I'm like into deathcore, heavy metal, chunky, fucking punch you in the face music, right? Now, what I'll do is I put on instrumentals. I go on like Spotify and look for like deathcore instrumental playlist.
Yeah.
Then, now when I'm listening to it, I can turn it down so it's not super loud, like overbearing. But it's in the background and I can listen to it and like I'm not paying attention to the lyrics.
Yeah.
So when I'm typing, I'm not like accidentally typing other lyrics and shit.
Uh-huh.
So that way, like this helps me, I don't know, focus but not lose focus because I just don't like that click, 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 click of the type and I get a little bored and lost and I can't do it. So anyways, I'm listening to the song and the song comes on and it's like super like heavy and the quality's amazing and I'm like, this is awesome, right? And then like it goes on and I don't want to like lose too much focus while I'm working on this. So a couple songs play. Another song comes on that's amazing. Like I'm like in the middle of typing and I'm like headbanging and I can't even focus anymore. And I'm like, it's fucking awesome, right?
Maybe I should turn this off.
Yeah, well, yeah, no. I'm like, I need to figure out who this is and listen to them.
Yeah.
So I pull up the album and the album that I had listened to was, they have, one of their newest albums was all instrumentals. And then they have a regular album, so it's not all instrumentals.
No vocals at all.
No. Well, like they did an instrumental version of the new album.
Oh.
So one album is their complete band. The other album is just instrumentals.
They just
no
said fuck the singer.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. I want to hear what their singer sounds like. They have to be fucking nasty, right?
Yeah.
Turn on the song. The most emo, whiny, baby bitch song I've ever heard. I'm like, this is not the fucking same band, okay? So I'm like, all right, this is fucking weird. Hit next. The most fucking heavy, brutal, fucking... I listened to this song before and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Listen to a third song by him, half and half. There's a part of the song that's chunky, fucking brutal. And then it goes into... The band is called Ocean's 8 Alaska.
Ocean's 8 Alaska.
It sounds weird. I'm telling you, I have to listen to more of their shit because... I don't know. Like, I have to figure out what this band is. I've only heard like 5 songs by him. Boy, Barnacle Bill. Michael Berry. What's new, bud?
Honestly, no.
No?
No.
How's school going?
It's good.
What are you in college for?
Radiography.
So you're in the medical field.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I just passed another test. So that's all fun.
Have you studied any older medicine?
Older medicine? What do you mean by that?
No, just medicine that's not like, current. Like, have you studied any like ancient medicine? Medicine in the Dark Ages or prehistoric times, or they teach you any of that shit like history of medicine?
You mean like sand?
Yeah, rub some sand in it. Rub some dirt in it. Yeah. Well, actually, this is cool then, because I decided that you might have some experience in this, or at least maybe it might be of interest to you. But I decided we were going to go with a little bit of something in the medical field. And you're familiar with cannibalism, right?
I love it.
Yeah? Okay, cool. All right. I'm not coming over for dinner. And
did they is this the cure for cancer?
That's what was believed.
Eating people?
Maybe.
Oh my God, I'm excited for this.
This is cool because everyone knows like serial killers and cannibalism, right? Like mental health aspect that's fucked up. Everyone knows like ritualistic cannibalism, right? Like you sacrifice a person to the gods, eat someone, or like ancient warriors would fucking cut someone's heart out and like bite into it and, eat the flesh of their victims or whatever, the dead soldiers, to gain their power. Well, there's also another form of cannibalism that maybe not a lot of people know about, and it's kind of recent, so it's kind of a touchy subject. But we're going to talk about medicinal cannibalism.
Dahmer.
Yeah, sort of. I mean,
he was the cure to cancer.
He might have been
That's the reason
trying.
he didn't get cancer.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he did not die of cancer.
No,
we can assure that. He died in prison.
He ate a lot of penises.
People have penises, half of them.
People?
Half of people. Half of people have penises.
Half of people.
That's right. So we're going to talk about medicinal cannibalism. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about the history of cannibalism. And like we talked about different types of cannibalism, but like in 1999 in France, right? How far back do you think cannibalism goes? If you had to guess, where do you think cannibalism starts?
Shit, they probably are eating people for a long time.
For a real long time. Actually, before people were people.
So BC.
Yeah, way BC. We're talking over 100,000 years ago.
Before people were people.
Yes, like we are the common Homo sapiens, right?
Yeah.
So before Homo sapiens, there's like Neanderthals, the like cavemen, right?
Okay.
Neanderthals, there's a cave called Mula Guerci. I'm not even saying that right at all. It's French, so I'm sorry.
Guerci? See?
I'm not even gonna try it because my French is not anywhere. It's not existent.
I thought I could speak French, but I can't.
All right.
I'll let it go.
Now, so like cannibalism, like we think of cannibalism as people eating people, right? But cannibalism is actually any member of its species eating its species.
Okay.
So like if a dog kills another dog and eats it, that's
cannibalism.
Yeah. But like commonly, like we understand cannibalism between humans.
Yeah.
Animals, we kind of think of them doing it for survival, nutrition, whatever. It's not really anything that's viewed as anything that's crazy, like psychologically or anything like that. Mm-hmm. There's primates and like monkeys that do it, which is kind of off-putting since they're kind of close to us. But other than that,
I don't think I've ever seen another monkey eat another monkey, and there goes your phone.
Yup. Well, you probably don't want to be watching monkeys eat other monkeys because, I don't know, it might make them uncomfortable. You really want to perv on them eating their meals?
Yeah.
What if they get that taste for human flesh? They might not want to be cannibals anymore. I'm more comfortable with them eating each other than eating me.
Honestly, you know what would be crazy? See a horde of monkeys eating a llama.
Call back. But
That'd be crazy.
so anyways, 100,000 years ago, right? This cave in France, they found bones that were basically had scars and markings on them that showed defleshing. So they peeled the flesh off with some sort of a blade. Yeah, so we know that they at least carved the flesh off the bones. And generally that's not done for anything other than eating the flesh. So we can't be 100% certain they were consuming the flesh, but it's widely believed that they were. In 50,000 years ago in Spain, we know that there was skin dismembered and consumed bones again, but the way that the bones were placed and the way that it seemed kind of like a ritualistic ceremonial setup, that they think that Neanderthals in Spain and El Cedron were doing ritualistic cannibalism. And earliest humans, 32,000 years ago, when the Homo sapiens came to be, they also participated in ritualistic cannibalism. So it's nothing new. People have been doing it. The ritualism kind of died down as we evolved as a species. Warfare came along, like actual tactical warfare, sieges. People had their towns and settlements build up. You know, they'd build a wall, keep their people inside the gates. Then there'd be a war. Famine would happen. People start to starve. And then that's when people would start eating each other again. It was generally viewed as like a last resort, nutritional.
It's got to be a required taste.
An acquired taste.
Acquired taste. The thing is like, I feel like I've bitten my lip before, and I didn't like the taste of it.
Well, have you ever bitten like a raw like piece of beef, like ground beef or anything? Have you ever eaten raw meat?
I don't. Maybe I just don't remember it. But that sounds
awful.
It's like. I don't know, dude. I could eat a pretty raw steak.
Well, I like a, but it also has to be like I want it to be cooked and flavorful. And
yeah,
like,
you want it seared at least.
Yeah. So you ever like when you're going to cook a steak, you ever pull it out of the packaging, you smell it, you kind of look at it.
It doesn't
appeal,
too,
right?
Yeah,
we season it, you cook it, it brings out the flavor, and
now I want a steak.
Maybe you cook someone.
Fuck.
And you know maybe it's good.
You know.
Okay, you never know.
Let's cut your arm off and check it out.
All right, left arm. Let's do it.
Aren't you left-handed?
Yep.
It's an excuse not to work.
They don't need me at work.
Yeah, right. John has find a way. You've worked with a cast on before, buddy. I know you can do it one arm.
So, as cannibalism, started to die down in the ritualistic, die down in popularity, it was only like a, do or die kind of thing. It started to make a heading again in the 12th century, the 1100s.
Damn, this does go back.
Yeah, it goes way back, and this is when it started to gain its popularity full time.
The popularity.
Yeah, no, seriously, it became popular because
it's like the Fortnite dances. It got popular.
this is popular for all the wrong reasons. The kids that play Fortnite just want to have fun.
Or do they? They want to kill people, but think about it.
Yeah, what's wrong
with
that?
That's why people play Call of Duty and all them shooters.
Hell yeah.
They secretly want to kill people.
That's how they got me into joining the army.
I was talking to this kid the other day, and he was telling me how he wanted to join the army so he could shoot people. I'm like, you're an idiot.
It's not going to happen.
You're probably not even going to fire a round out of your weapon out of basic training, bud.
Have fun in S1.
Walk in, like, he's just sitting there at the desk.
Can you imagine?
Push my paperwork through yet?
Yeah, dude. Like, I remember how cool I was when I first joined. Like, can you imagine if they, like, got you in there and you were all pumped and ready? You're, like, about to go to basic, and they're like, all right, here's what you're going to do, soldier. You're going to process leave paperwork. What? No.
That doesn't sound fun at all. Unless it's mine.
No. You'll never be approved. Sir, no.
Sir, no. God damn it. What's that dude's name?
Oh, Thomas something. Starts with a Y.
Oh my God, Thomas. You'll
figure it out. It'll come to you.
All
right. While you think about that, the cannibalism this is mostly in Europe. We're talking about. All right, European cannibal medicine. We see that cannibalism. Some people take it to mean different things. A lot of people mean eating the flesh. But also, something that can also be considered cannibal is drinking blood, right? You think of it more like vampires, and like that's something that's a story. But if you look back to the Romans, they would drink the blood of gladiators, freshly killed gladiators. They believed it to be a cure for epilepsy, or also known as the falling sickness. Epileptics would go to dead gladiators who were freshly bleeding on the ground and go to their wounds and suck the blood from the wounds and drink the blood to cure themselves. But when the 12th century came around, that started to grow. All right, so like more people are taking into this. They think that drinking blood is going to cure your epilepsy and really just kind of prevent death.
Might kind of make you not think about epilepsy as much.
Maybe. I mean, there's really no...
Because you got to think, you're probably sitting there like, damn, I'm really drinking blood right now, bro.
Well, also, like, right now, like, medically, no one acknowledges the existence of a soul. That's like a religious, spiritual kind of thing.
Yeah.
Back then, that was considered, like, a fact. Everyone had a soul. So, like, when you're consuming blood or organs or flesh...
real vampire shit.
You're getting their spirit, their power. You're imbued with...
That's called a vampire.
Yeah. I mean...
That's a vampire. You're drinking blood and you're talking about taking their soul.
Think about it. You're a sick person who just all of a sudden you have epilepsy, you seizure and shake, and you don't know what's happening. No one understands it at that time.
So you're like,
you drink the blood, the life,
might work.
the life force of these powerful warriors, and you think it's gonna cure you. That's that's medicine. This was happening only a couple hundred years ago.
Some Shang Tsung, or is that
Shang Tsung?
Shang Tsung, yeah. Mortal Kombat.
He steals your soul. Your soul.
Well, these guys are sucking souls out, man. Maybe they could teach a couple ladies some things.
Oh no.
Oh. And the podcast.
No, just Shang Tsung sucking blood is kind of a terrifying
That
thought.
sounds crazy, dude. Imagine if they made a Mortal Kombat with zombies.
I mean, they kind of did. They have the Revenants and shit.
Oh, yeah,
they got brought
kinda,
back.
But I mean, like an official one. Like an open world Mortal Kombat zombies game.
I think that'd be terrible.
You think?
Yeah.
No, dude, that'd be sick.
You have to punch zombies. How many zombies could you punch before they bite you? Come on now.
You gotta punch a lot. It's like
the only person who would survive is Raiden.
It's like that old fucking thing. Like how many kindergartners is it gonna take to put you down?
38.
I think I'd be done at 5. I get tired of kicking kids.
Well, here's the thing, bud. Before you're in the middle, you kick 3 kids, you kick 4 kids, you're getting tired, drink some blood.
But what if
now you're kicking 10 kids. You just got imbued with the powers of Maximus.
You drink some blood, you'll be all right. You'll get your electrolytes in.
Now, Now, like the drinking blood thing didn't just happen with the Romans, though. Like I said, the Europeans adopted this, like even as late as the year 1747. Okay, we were almost a country by then, and we're a really young country. This is 1747.
People.
Doctors were prescribing you to drink blood that was, quote, hot and new. Okay, it has to be fresh blood. So you know what they were doing? People would line up at the guillotine platforms where they were executing people, executing
with
prisoners.
cups or something?
Yeah, to catch the blood so they could drink it.
Like,
To buy it.
oh.
The executioners would sell the blood to the people so they could drink it.
So that's why we have STDs and
The plague came and that was
these
bad.
motherfuckers,
this is a
dude.
whole
They
new
ruined
plague.
it for us. Now we gotta wear condoms. Bastards.
They certainly didn't help.
No, that's AIDS, bud.
Now, there's drinking blood. Now, what about eating flesh? You think they're going to go and eat these prisoners, right? You would think they want hot and fresh flesh,
But
too,
what
right?
pisses me off is they didn't have salt or pepper or anything. Montreal seasoning.
Well, okay, so here you go. Well, this is where we're going to get into that because you don't have to flavor the
Wait
blood.
a minute.
It's like drinking your coffee black. You don't got to
Is
flavor
this
that.
when the seasoning comes in?
Sort of, because now you think about it, right? We were talking about when you cook someone, right? You like a steak. You think that cooking the flesh is going to make it better, right? So you think you want a fresh cut of meat, cook that bitch up, and now you're going to eat some people, feel better, right?
Did they have a cast iron?
That's not how they did it, though.
Oh shit!
You know what they liked? They probably would have liked
Frozen?
beef jerky.
Oh, they salted them.
No, well, sort of. They
Well,
like their stuff preserved, bud. Think of like eating an MRE from 50 years ago.
Oh, they fucking
What's
packaged
the best
it?
way to keep people around?
Freeze them.
But back then we didn't have the technology to freeze people, so what were you doing? What did ancient people do with their dead bodies to keep them forever?
Mummified.
They were mummies. That's right. So you know what they did? They exhumed mummies and ate mummy flesh.
It's a lot of toilet paper.
Hey, yeah, but it keeps it dry. Yeah, they would eat mummies.
I like beef jerky though.
And here's the thing: is that like the flesh of let's say you had a foot ailment, right? Your foot was bothering you. You skin the foot, boil it with some herbs, some myrrh,
I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight.
soak it in some wine, eat it, and it'll make your foot feel better. How's your head feel? You got a headache?
Skin it.
Skin the head, yeah. No, seriously, they would even take the bones that were left over and they would grind the bones up into a powder, make like a nutmeg out of it. Yeah, and then they would, make it. Here, I got a quote for you.
When did we change?
I'll tell you. Here's a quote from a guy named Thomas
I'm kinda
Rugus
glad.
in his book called Marrow of the Physic. And physic is spelled sick, like S-I-C-K, physic. A man's skull that hath been dead but 1 year, bury it in the ashes behind the fire, and let it burn until it's very white, and ease to be broken with your finger. Then take off all the uppermost part of the head to the top of the crown, and beat it as small as possible, and then grate to a nutmeg, and put to it the blood of a dog that's been dried and powdered. Mingle them all together and give the sick the drink, first and last, both when he is sick and also when he is well, the quantity of half a dram at a time in white wine. So they would ground this all up, the skull, drop it in some wine, mix it with some dog blood, drink that bitch. You're gonna feel better, bud.
You'd be alright.
That is common medicine. Well, not really. I wouldn't say it's common medicine because this was expensive. Okay, the kings would pay. All right, here I got some for you. The British King Charles II. You know how much he paid for just a recipe of skull powder?
2 pennies.
No, 6,000 pounds.
That's a fat woman.
Pounds is English money, right?
Oh.
Well, was English money, and
That's
it was roughly,
that's their currency.
yeah. So
I knew that.
Roughly equivalent of about $7,696. And if you counted that to inflation, that equals about $440,000 in today's money. He paid $440,000 for a recipe that lets you distill and break up some skulls. That's how much they were into this medicine. Medicine's always been expensive.
Fuck. Big pharma even back then.
Yeah. Now, also, you'd think big pharma, right? Now, what else you gotta have? You gotta have the black market, right? They're selling too much. People can't afford that shit. The peasants that are lining up to cup blood.
I'd
from
be the
people.
one standing in line.
Well, here's what you
Black
would do,
market.
bud. You know what they do also?
Probably exchange body parts for fucking.
Well, they sell their own fake mummy meat. this is real, authentic.
Fake mummy
Quote,
meat.
quote, whoosh, 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 whoosh.
So mummy meat was a currency?
No, well, it wasn't a currency, but it was so popular and so in demand. I mean,
Sounds
think
like
about
prison.
how much mummies do you think were readily available? Not a lot, right? Mummies are not something that's, especially in Europe, they didn't have a lot of access to mummies.
Yeah.
So what they would do is they would end up taking the flesh of dead beggars, criminals, peasants, plague victims,
fuck
anybody they
them.
can get their hands on.
Yeah, fuck them.
And then they would
Probably took
slice
their
it.
fucking loaf of bread like Aladdin, bastard. Street rat.
Well, they would slice the meat,
Off with his fucking
slice
skin.
the flesh, and then they would hang it, dry it, and let it basically dry out, to cure it like a smoke cured meat. It wouldn't stink as bad, and they'd be able to use it that way, sell it, say, hey, this is mummy meat, but really it's just some dude who died in the back alley of the leprosy.
You know what the medical term would be for removing the skin? Demeroectomy.
Demeroectomy?
Or dermeroectomy.
Dermeroectomy?
Yeah, because derma skin.
Dermatologist.
Yeah. Yeah, dermeroectomy.
I'm sure it wasn't easy.
That sounds pretty crazy. That's actually a dope ass band name.
Yeah, actually, I'm
Dermeroectomy.
going to have you edit that out so I can steal that and start a band.
That's my band name now.
That's mine now. Anybody listening, don't take that.
That's the cool thing about medical terminology. You can build your own words. Like the one that I put, it's cranial anal ectomy.
Removing your head from your ass.
Yeah.
Well, someone's going to have to do that, because I would not be able to remove my own head from my ass. That seems rather difficult. I don't even know how I got it there to begin with.
Why was I up there?
What was I doing?
This isn't Magic School Bus. You remember they used to fucking like travel through the bodies and stuff?
Hell
and like
yeah.
they would get to like the colon and we wouldn't even understand what it really was, but you would just see like the blood flow, like the blood cells going around and shit. And we was like, oh, it's pretty cool. And they would literally go out people's asses.
Yeah, the booty hole.
They would go straight out the butt.
I remember
Right
Miss
through the
Frizzle,
sphincter.
they'd be like, wow, and this is the heart. And then they'd show you like the ventricles and shit.
Yeah.
Like Miss Frizzle would sit there with like a fucking, one of those electric steak
And what
knives,
was up
and
with
she'd
the
be
lizard?
carving that thing up, like carving the heart pieces off and like giving it to the kids. They'd eat
That
it.
was a thing?
Nah.
Oh.
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh
I
my
ate too
god.
much mummy.
Cannibalism.
Yeah, bud.
That would be crazy, dude. If like we went back and watched that and we seen shit like that, they're like, "Here, are you hungry? Here's lunch." Like, what the fuck? She's like, he got a cold. Here, take some of this man's heart.
Mrs. Frizzle, my head hurts. She's like, I've got just the thing for you, and she starts bashing.
Get out of
open
the
one
bus
other
and
kid's
breathe,
skull-
motherfucker.
this Kid's skulls.
Shotgun outside of the bus. Just start drinking.
So this went on for a couple hundred years. Like I said, it was like 1750. They were still recommending eating people, drinking blood. But it started to decline in the 1700s, late 1700s. People began to become more civilized. We got out of the dark times of humanity, so to say. We, started eating with forks, and pianos were invented, and we built the steam engine, and, shit like that. Like, we were moving along. But it's important to know, like, I want you to think about some of the other people that were alive during this time. Like, you think this is kind of far back, but you know how, like, it really is not that far back. Like, who was alive during this time that probably, or at least was subject to being around it, or, the possibility of taking this kind of medicine? Like, Isaac Newton, Galileo, Shakespeare, Da Vinci, Copernicus. Like, these guys are all alive during this time. Like, we think that's so far ago that, like, we'd be removed from it, but really it's only a couple hundred years ago. And I mean, the Europeans were pretty hypocritical too, because they would, when they came to America, they would judge the natives here for their savagery, for eating people, and they viewed them as monsters, as savages. It was something that was looked down on, but the Europeans thought it was okay for them to do it if they were using it for medical purposes, but not
Eating
for anything
people?
else. Yeah.
That's a pretty bad thing to do.
Well,
They're
depends
just
on
like,
what you're doing it for, bud. Yeah. People still believed, though, for a long time, because you thought, like I said, it started to die down in the 18th century, late 1700s. People were starting to go away from it, but it didn't die. A lot of people still believed that powdered skull and blood could treat epilepsy. In the mid to late 1800s, There's accounts that people were still being prescribed to mix like blood and honey. And here's a fun fact. Do you know that Germany was I think Germany was the last country that still sold mummy as a medicine. And you want to know what decade they stopped selling it in? 1910. Or I mean in the 1900s. Around 1908 was when they stopped selling mummy as medicine.
What?
Yeah, only about 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the Germans, so...
So they're, dude, there's fucking, like, our grandparents probably ate mummy. Never told us about it.
Well, they stopped doing it in the 1900s, so maybe, like, great-grandparents.
Oh, my grandparents.
Well, yeah, you're old as shit.
I'm not old as shit.
I'm not that old.
Well, my grandfather died probably when he was about... Shit. My grandma was probably 80-something. I'm sure she was born in... Oh, no.
Because she would have been born in like
I think she was born in
1916.
1916.
So she would have just missed the train.
Yeah.
So maybe her parents...
She would have just missed it. So her parents are really eating fucking mummy. Just a heads up about your great-grandparents out there, kids.
The chug-a-chug train. Yeah. If you know anybody that had a close relationship with their grandparents, their great-grandparents, ask them. Let them know. Say, hey, was your relative a cannibal? Let us know.
Did you eat mummy? That just sounds like a bad idea.
I mean...
Because, like, you got to think maggots probably, like, or, man.
Well, not the mummies. I mean, the mummies have been dead for so long that it's not flesh anymore. They're not... Oh, that's professional. They're not... The flesh isn't there anymore. They're not decomposing. It's not like a freshly killed corpse or a corpse that's been under there for a couple weeks. This is, mummies. They're preserved. It's just weird, too, because, like, they would be used to treat, like, wounds, things like that, and the preservatives in the mummies could help, actually, with the wounds. It was sort of like an accidental find. Mm-hmm. But other than that, like, the eating of people and things like that didn't really, it didn't really do anything. It was mostly a placebo effect. People believed, I'm absorbing. It's like homeopathy, right? Like cures like. You got a headache, you need to take something from the head, boom, now you got it fixed. But yeah, that's weird, man. And that is medicinal cannibalism.
I love it.
Did you learn anything fun? Did you have some good times with that?
I learned that there's a reason when I have a headache, I, like, bite my hand. You ever, like, had some kind of pain? Like, if, like, you stub your toe, you're like, bite your fucking finger?
No.
You never did that?
Mm-mm.
Really?
No, I don't bite. Yeah, no.
You've never seen people do that?
Oh no, I know people do it. It's not from. It's not me. I grip my teeth.
I don't eat people, but
yeah, I'm not a cannibal.
But I'm just saying, maybe that's like a natural reflex.
I think that's just from like trying not to pass out.
I don't know.
People like bite on a sock and shit, or like bite on their arm when they're like.
And sometimes I feel like more pain helps pain.
No, I disagree. If I got a headache and then I drop something on my foot, then I'm like, now my head and my foot hurts. It doesn't balance it out. People are like, oh, you'll forget about your foot.
and I think my palate was increased today, so we'll give it a try.
Hey, I know a good chili recipe.
I'm actually pretty hungry.
It actually cures stomach aches. It's made with intestines.
And blood.
All right, well, you got anything you want to plug? Anything you want to get out there?
I do want to say...
Get Glade on their ass. Do some pluggables.
I didn't have blue balls this time. It was good. I got drawing a blank.
You got music out there, right?
I do have music. Well,
you have a Twitter, anything that.
Yeah. If you guys want to hear some music, go check it out on YouTube or SoundCloud. Trip TRIPSEVEN 216. And leave some feedback and let me know what you guys think.
Hell yeah.
And keep tuning into our podcast every Saturday because we're lit.
Well,
sort of. It's kind of early. I actually just woke up when he got here, so I was kind of non-existent.
Hey, sometimes you just got to get in the swing. It's Saturday, man.
Yeah.
Not everyone's up raring and going. I mean, I've been up for like 4 hours,
but
5
look
hours
at this shit. Fucking, this girl goes, buy 3 bottles of wine. What?
There's a bunch of full glasses.
Full
of wine
glasses, dude.
on your house.
Like literally, so I get a fucking 12-pack of beer for me and my buddy Chris, and then the girls, I got them 2 bottles of wine. She was like, get 3. You didn't even finish 1 glass. And then this chick hits a fucking weed pen, bro, and then she's done. Like she told me she kept telling herself to breathe. So I was thinking about eating her. Because I started to feel a little nauseous.
You're like, I'm also struggling to breathe. And you know what? Oh, you know what? Lungs. I need lungs.
Give me your chest. I do like boobs.
Hey, if you've got boob pain, eat some boobs.
Eat some boobs.
That might work.
And let me watch.
Oh, well, I'm not into that, but hey, to each their own, bud.
No, I mean the women.
Oh, yeah,
they
yeah,
got boob
yeah, sure.
pain. Eat
Yeah.
some boobs.
Yeah, let them watch. You watch. I'm not watching.
Oh, you are married.
Yeah.
He's a married guy. Sorry, Sam, if you listen. Probably don't listen, though. You don't like either one of us.
I don't think I don't think she listens.
Oh.
Maybe one day.
Maybe she was our other listen.
No.
Oh.
No. Maybe one day when we start like making money and she doesn't
Man,
like
that's
blame me
fucked
wasting
up.
my time.
So if she ain't with us while we down, she ain't with us while...
Damn it, Sam! Stop working and come here and listen to me do this.
It's fucking
Watch
bullshit.
me work. Damn it!
You need to fucking tune in on your days off instead of sitting there watching your soaps. Damn, listen to History Blitz.
History
and learn
Blitz.
something. Might see that your fucking husband's plotting.
Why do you think I'm cooking dinner all the
He
time?
never goes to the hospital. Why is that?
Why doesn't he need records?
Where did Shelly go?
Dude, turtles are supposed to be delicious. Well, tortoises.
Really?
Yeah. That's why
I
there's
kind of
no
want to eat a...
Galapagos turtles.
They make turtle soup, don't they?
Yeah.
Or stew.
Well, like, who's the explorer, the famous, what was his name? Evolutionist, wasn't it Darwin? I think Darwin was the guy who ate a bunch of turtles.
Yeah.
Galapagos. They went to the Galapagos Islands and found that the turtles were so exquisite, like they tasted so good, they just ate all the fucking tortoises.
So now I'm starting to feel like when America was discovered, quote unquote, did like he just get his boat onto shore and then like the pilgrims were eating people?
No.
How do we know though? Like, do you think they
mean-
would teach that in school?
No. But other countries,
No.
other countries would. That's the thing.
I feel like there's more to it. I feel like the Boston Tea Party, that was blood. I don't
Blood
think they
in the
had
harbor.
tea, but they're not fooling nobody. They're like, this tastes like blood, and they're like, it is blood, bitch. Now you're gonna feel better.
Then they, cooked them and turned them into like biscuits to
You
eat
never
with their
know,
tea.
dude. Like we might have fucking chopped these motherfuckers up. You don't really see too many pilgrims anymore.
We live in Ohio, bud. There's Amish people everywhere. They're like the same thing.
Now you sound racist,
But that's not racist. That's
stereotypical.
maybe.
You're a piece of shit.
I mean,
bro.
if you had to pick one group of people
You know what's
from
weird?
today's world, what's
Amish
the
people are-
closest people to pilgrims?
Amish.
All right, there you go.
But it fucking strikes me because Amish people don't have electricity. They're actually forbidden to use certain like products and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But they could build a house in a fucking day, dude.
Well, yeah, you don't need it. I mean, before we had tech, people had houses.
Listen, bro, like when
build a roof in a day.
When I was doing those, when I was doing the motherfucking the plumbing and shit, I literally because we would do new houses like being built, and these motherfuckers would pull up in a fucking red pickup truck, dude. Literally, fucking slide on the rocks, jump out 4 of them, dude, with the bowl cut on and everything, dude. Little fucking suspenders on.
Ezekiel.
Dude, for real. And then they would fucking literally jump out, grab like a big ass board and just run it up the fucking little ass 2x4 they have leading to the front door. Dude, like they were so quick. Lay it down, pop, 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 pop. I'm like, these motherfuckers are crazy, dude. I'm sure they kill people and eat people. Because I'd be bored if I was an Amish person.
You don't have time to be bored. That's why they work so fast.
They do work a lot.
Yeah, they have to work for everything. Like, we're like, yo, I need some water. Let me turn on the faucet. They're like, I got to go to the well, pump this shit, carry 3 buckets, move it over here, and now we got to heat it to take a bath.
Cut some
Fuck
grass with my teeth.
That takes 3 hours, dude. I made a fucking pot of coffee. It takes me 10 seconds.
What is their issue?
It's their beliefs.
It's bothering me.
Like afterlife stuff, I think. Way life. That's why they do the Rumspringer.
But is it like
and they let the kids go experience our life, then they come back to being Amish.
And they're fucking crazy, dude. They turn into like crazy? Whores.
Imagine if you were on a like
that's
a
how
farm.
gypsies are too. Gypsies are whores.
Well, I don't think that's true.
They are whores.
No.
Gypsies, dude, they go out.
Gypsies are like a race of people.
Hold on.
I think you're thinking of like the stereotype like movie.
No, I'm not.
Like, if you were an Amish person, okay, and you lived in a farm your whole life, and all you knew was waking up at the crack of dawn, working from fucking sunrise to sunset, never having any fucking free time, never being able to do this or do that, then all of a sudden you come to the fucking a main city in the United States, and you experience what life is like for us, with technology, with, like, instant gratification and all this fucking satisfaction we get. Like, I don't understand how anyone could turn back to that. Really would not be something I'd be interested in doing. Although I think that if they did a reverse Rumspringer...
They lie, steal, and cheat, and they play the violin beautifully.
Where are you reading that from? That sounds completely racist as shit.
That's what it is.
No, that's wrong, bud.
What does the gypsy believe in? The Roma do not follow a single faith. Rather, they often adopt the predominant religion of the country where they are living. According to Open Society, and describe themselves as many stars scattered in the sight of God. Some Rama groups are Catholic, Muslim, Pentecostal, Protestant, and Anglican.
Angelican.
They spelled it wrong. Or Baptist. But yeah, it says...
No, gypsies are people, they're tribes of people that wander around. They're like nomads. They wander around and they live in like their native lands. Like there's gypsies in America, there's gypsies in Spain.
The people...
You have to understand where you're reading your information from.
Right, but...
That doesn't make it
how stuff
accurate.
Works, dude. It's how it works.
It doesn't make it accurate.
But that's the way I fucking view gypsies, dude.
Well, that's bad. You should go hang out with gypsies. They're probably really fun to drink with.
Dude, if they're whores, I should definitely hang out with gypsies.
All right.
Especially to be drinking with them.
I don't have anything to plug. I do pet portraits, but I don't have a page or anything for it. So other than that, I'm going to just go paint some more fucking pets and drink some beer.
Drink some beer.
And then we'll be back next week to talk about some other shit that you probably don't know about.
On History Blitz.
Yeah, so join us next week on History Blitz.